Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's been so long, I've just been so busy moving house and things, and if you're new to my channel then hello, my name's Laura and I've just been doing some pregnancy updates and I'm now at week 31, would you believe it or not? So yeah, I've got a few weeks to update you with, so let's get on with it. The first thing I'm going to talk about this week, because it is bugging me already, is some symptoms that I've been getting. So probably for the past 3 weeks, my ear, like just one ear, keeps dropping out so that I can't really hear myself properly, and I get like a weird echo constantly. You know when you feel like you're on a ride or something and you get the pressure change and you just have to go like an awkward fish. Yeah, that keeps happening and it's driving me nuts. So sometimes I'm like talking to people and because I can hear myself so bad, I just seem really distracted and like I'm just coming across even more like an airhead than what I am already. People must just think I'm absolutely nuts. But so that's been one symptom. And then a second, it's driving me nuts. Symptom number 2 would be I've had an eye twitch. These have to be the most irritating things that you could have whilst pregnant. Well, I'm sure there's worse, but like these are pretty irritating. So again, I don't know whether they're linked. Maybe it's something to do with blood pressure, because I suffer from low blood pressure anyway, and I checked my blood pressure because I started getting worried that I was starting to see floaters and things, and I was starting to freak out about preeclampsia because I had a few other symptoms like bad headache. I had a pain like in the right place, and you know when you Google something and you're like tick, tick, tick. I was like, oh my god. But no, it was actually really low blood pressure, so maybe my hearing and this like weird twitch that I've got going on my eye has something to do with my blood pressure. But yeah, I've had this twitch, you know when your eye just starts to go. It's again only on this side of my face, and yeah, I've had it for about 2 weeks every day without fail. Seems to be that on days where I'm more tired or I'm like doing more, maybe a bit more like stressed or just like uppity, it seems to be worse. It feels really noticeable. I imagine it's not at all, but yeah, it's just another like annoying little niggle. It's not really a problem, so to speak. Tiredness has been a problem. I guess that's just stereotypical of this time, of this stage of pregnancy, like getting properly into your 3rd trimester. You do just gradually get more tired. I've had good days, bad days. Some mornings I just cannot get out of bed, and I always think, oh, right, okay, it's going to be one of those days, because I now have a toddler that does not nap and definitely needs to nap. So I'm trying everything under the sun right now, and obviously she's completely disrupted because we've been moving house, she's got a new bedroom. She's got the like cot bed that she's always had, but she's got the same size room as us, and that's just the way that it's just worked out, because obviously the baby's got the smaller room and then we needed an office as well, so we've like the 2 smaller rooms. So she ended up with this massive bedroom and this tiny little cot bed in the corner. So I think it probably feels like quite a large space for her, and she's definitely been unsettled. And then obviously the clock's changed, which has to be every parent's nightmare. I didn't even think about it this time. Normally I would prep slightly. So yeah, I've been very tired. She hasn't been going to sleep, and then she's been waking up early, and like earlier than usual. She's been coming down to my room, which she never used to do. And yeah, some mornings I've just woken up being like, oof, yep, it's gonna be one of those days. So that's been fun. And something else, obviously your muscles start to loosen up and things when you're pregnant, and I think probably you're most sort of susceptible to injury wise muscles. Does that make sense? Your muscles that are most susceptible to injury would be the ones that are kind of like wrapping around your pelvis and your hip and things. And the dog, somehow, we have a golden retriever, managed to pull me backwards because he wanted to cross a road, and I was trying to help my little girl up who'd fallen on a scooter, and he pulled me that way. And ever since I haven't been really able to walk properly on my right hip. I thought it might just be sciatica, or maybe the baby just pressing on a nerve or something like that, but it hasn't gone away. And you know when you can just feel the difference and it just feels like an injury, and it just seems to be taking a lot longer to heal. So I was fine for about 2 days, and then the past 2 weeks I found it really difficult to walk on my right side. Like going down a hill's a nightmare. I can't take any weight, so I can't push the pushchair. I'm just hoping, I've started doing quite a few exercises again to try and loosen things up and strengthen the other muscles around it, which when you're in pain it's really hard to like mentally bring yourself around to do, but I eventually listened. I was like, but I'm too tired and it hurts too much. But I eventually listened, and it does seem to be helping quite a lot. So this past week has been quite a bit better. Thank God. Other than that, I think it was probably week 29, like leading up to 30 weeks, I had really dull headaches. Obviously the floaters in my vision going on, the blood pressure changes. Like I said, I had a bit of a preeclampsia freak out, which it wasn't. I then went for a midwife check for my 30-week checkup. I eventually got registered with the new midwives and things, which is really good. They took a new set of booking bloods. They've kind of started again. They're unfortunately not going to give me the scan, but you know, that would have been a luxury. And the baby's breech, which I know it's fine for the stage that I'm at. The baby can definitely still turn. It's quite a high percentage of babies that will turn, but it also made sense because I was saying to everyone, God, the movements are so different this time. You know, with my last one I felt everything up in my rib cage, and it's what everyone typically complains about, like, oh, she's kicking me in the ribs. And my daughter last time was actually sat on one of my nerves, and I had this complete numbness on my left side of like sort of where your abs are, and yeah, I wasn't feeling anything like that. It was this weird sensation of like, I don't know how to describe it, like pushing, like grinding, pushing feeling at the top, and that's obviously because that's where her head is, and she's kind of pushing up like this, and kicking me more like my pelvis region. And I have to say that those movements are still exactly the same, so I'm guessing she's still in that position. I have grown quite a bit, which I'll show you in a bump shot soon. So maybe with a bit more space she'll be able to wiggle around. And if not, I think they give you a scan at 36 weeks and then they try and manually turn them anyway. The last symptom-ish that I wanted to talk about was leg cramps. The type of cramp that when you wake up in the morning you know that you've like almost pulled a muscle and you can't walk on. I think I talked about this last time, but they've definitely gotten worse, mainly during the night, so that doesn't help. I have to say my pregnancy pillow has been an absolute saviour. It's massive, or I'd show you, but I did feature it in one of my very first videos, so go watch that if you want to see it. But yeah, it's a full like U-shaped massive pillow, which my partner's working away. So I've had the whole bed and I've just been putting it in the middle, and I found like the perfect position where you just like wrap it between the front of your legs lying on your side, and then the back bit wrap it again over your legs, and it's like helped to lift my hip, and yeah, that seems to be helping. So that's a good tip if anyone's finding it hard to find a comfortable position. Definitely like wrap the pregnancy pillow like almost like twice, like through your legs, crisscross like that. That has been a winner. I think that's about it really for this week's update. It's just going to keep it short and sharp. I have to say I am so excited that, well, it's funny actually because I got to 30 weeks and I was like, oh my goodness, it's like a 10-week countdown, oh, it's so exciting. And then I hit 31 weeks and I was like, oh my goodness, I've got 9 weeks left, we're in single figures, and although it's exciting, I've been like opening the baby's room and just throwing things in and shutting the door, and like the radiators are off and things in there, so it's like got this horrible like feel of like just cold and like uninviting. So I'm gonna have to spend some serious time doing that. We still don't have any living room furniture, and there's still boxes all over the living room, so very much got quite a bit of work to do on the house still. So I'm hoping this next 2 months, if I'm given that amount of time, we'll just feel like the house is a bit more sorted, and like things are just together. Like all my makeup and things are on the floor still. I haven't sorted storage out. It's just unorganised, and you know when you're in like serious nesting mode. So I've been like gradually doing things slowly because I wanted like the perfect storage solution, and like my jewellery like perfectly organised, and I've been throwing loads of stuff out. And then after I've thrown it out, I've been like, I don't need 3 moisturisers, we'll just condense it all into this one. And then I'd finished that one and was like, oh no, I've got no moisturiser left. Like I've just done some daft things to try and like condense and feel like I'm on top of things and organised. But really, like, the house is still such a mess. I still don't really know what I've got for the baby. I've just been buying bits that I wrote down on the list, of bits that I knew that we were missing, like larger items. So that stuff's there somewhere. But yeah, I really need to get myself organised, and when I do, I will do a video on prepping for the baby, and I'm also going to do like a postpartum box, because I think I've talked about this before, but last time I kind of just forgotten about my side of things, and it was just had everything ready for the baby, and then I was like, oh my goodness, yes, you spend at least 3 weeks bleeding. I think I actually spent about 5 or 6 weeks bleeding last time, and I was amazed or shocked at how long it went on for. So I'm going to put a bit of a pack together this time so that I'm just like ready and prepped, not worrying about it, not like shuffling through boxes. It's all just there and ready. So I might do a little video on that. And I've definitely got some baby hauls to do. So I'm going to do a bump shot. I'm going to sign off there, and I shall see you next week in my next video. So I'm hoping you can see me properly. Just trying to get used to this new room setup. It's so much better because I've got so much more space. I can actually move around the room, but yeah. So this is bump from the side, 31 weeks. And the front. Side. Front. And the other side. So I'm definitely feeling more like I'm carrying a water balloon this week. Last week, I still could get away with people not even realising that I was pregnant. Like we had a workman here, and I was like, oh yeah, and we've got another baby in June and whatever, and he's like, what? But this week you can definitely tell more, and it's lifted up more, and it's much more circular, like much more rounded. That has been my biggest thing that I've noticed this week, and I've definitely been feeling them moving like further up as well, so obviously everything's just shifted up slightly, which makes me feel like I've got quite a nice amount of time left still. 9 weeks or 2 months doesn't sound like very long, does it? But when you think things are still shifting up rather than down, then that's a good sign. I still haven't got any stretch marks, and I honestly have been loving that Asda baby mama oil. I've forgotten the name of it. Again, that's in one of my first videos, so go back to that if you want to see it. But it's the N Spa range, and it's like an almond oil, and it's just been fab. It's really nice to apply. It just sinks in, it doesn't stick around, it hasn't given me a rash, it doesn't heat up. I've found I can use it at any time of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't get like clammy or anything. Yeah, and whether it's linked to that or not, I haven't got any stretch marks. I think I've actually got less than what I got first time round, because first time round I got them across my boobs. I haven't got any of that this time. Just some really old ones that are like literally inside my belly button, so they don't matter. But so yeah, we shall see by next week if I'm covered. Anyway, I shall see you next week in my video. I hope you're all good. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you want to be kept updated. I promise to update you more often. And I shall see you soon. Bye!